As the story goes forward, we see after Noah ends his conversation with Carl. Noah was standing outside and was talking with Serena. There he was telling her that he is quite relieved that Carl didn't call his talent dumb. He then further goes on to add that Carl seemed pretty cool to him. Followed by that, Serena responded to Noah by saying that his talent was not dumb at all, and now they will just have to find Noah's first quest. Then she says, since Noah is only F ranked, in that case it would be better if he starts out with a harvesting quest in the area. Moments later, Serena hands him a piece of paper, and it has all the details that he needs to know about his first quest. And it also says that if he successfully completes the quest, then he will be rewarded with 4 silver coins. After hearing about the prize money, Noah's dragon asked him what they would be able to eat with this money. To which Noah responded by saying that this much money is good enough to buy 4 sandwiches. Serena then went on to explain that starter quests always pay around this much money only. Hearing that, Noah says to Dragon and Serena that they should hurry to the eastern forest. Hearing which, Serena wishes Noah and his dragon good luck. In the next scene we can see that Noah and his dragon have just arrived at the Rubrup's eastern forest. As they arrive there, Noah's dragon said that it is going to be a real pain to find a specific plant in the middle of a huge forest like this. Noah disagrees with his dragon and tells him that it's not necessary to be that way. Followed by that, Noah unleashed his powerful magic spell, which will help him search the resources instantly. To which, his dragon said he is again doing another extraordinary thing. Noah responds to that by saying that the extraordinary ones are the people who created this magic spell, and that he can't take the credit. The dragon then replied that he shouldn't be taking himself lightly, because he mastered the magic. That means he also qualifies as extraordinary too. As he was saying all this, Noah found the plant that he was searching for. Following that, he went back with the plant to Carl. Back there, as everyone saw the plant, they were utterly gobsmacked. Noah then told him that there were a bunch of things that looked useful to him, so therefore, he decided to harvest a variety of things as well. Seeing this, Serena thought that by this point she should be surprised. On the other hand, Carl was astonished that Noah has collected so much in such a short amount of time. Following this, Carl went on to say that there are some rare panacea and magical herbs present at his collections, and on top of that all were in good condition. Carl then went on to say that Noah did a great job on his first quest. To which we see a happy Noah who thanks Carl. Carl then further goes on to tell Noah that he is actually very impressed by what Noah has accomplished in his first quest in such a short time with his translation talent. Carl then also said, even with his appraiser's eyes, he couldn't foresee that. Hearing what Noah said, he still has a long way to go. To which Carl told him, usually it takes a rookie adventurer half a day to collect only 1 medicine herb, but he did it effortlessly. Followed by that, Carl asks Noah if he has decided about his next quest. In response, Noah said not yet. Carl then told Noah, there is actually a quest that he was hoping that Noah should take. Hearing that, Noah said if Carl thinks that he is the right person for the job, then he will be glad to do that. Carl then said, since he said he is ready, then here is the quest. Carl then hands Noah a piece of paper that has all the information that he needs to know about the quest. On top of that, there is also written that if he is able to successfully complete the quest, then he will be rewarded with 5 platinum coins. Following that, Carl told Noah that, for this quest he will have to find a flower named Fairy Flower from the Rubrup Eastern Forest. He then further told Noah, fairy flowers are one of the ingredients that is used to make wonder elixirs, the one which can cure most illnesses. But Noah was a bit taken aback by the fact that the quest demands an adventurer who is ranked B. According to him, he can only take quests which are 1 ranked above his. To which Carl said that the guild won't mind if he refers to Noah for the quest. Besides, Carl further told Noah, if he fails then he will pay the penalty fee, so he shouldn't worry about that. Then Noah asked Carl why he would go that far. In response to that, Carl told him, his daughter is suffering from an unknown illness, and that he had gone to every doctor in the city, but none of them knew what to do. So all he can do now is hope the wonder elixirs can cure his daughter. Furthermore, he told Noah, he has got all the other ingredients that were required, but he just can't get his hands on a fairy flower, no matter how much he tried. There we get to learn that these flowers are so rare that one can only find a few in any given year. But, according to him, he is not fortunate enough to find one as of now. However, after seeing Noah's accomplishments, Carl thinks that he might be able to find one. Following that, he says, as he can see, that he is the Clint for this quest, so he asked Noah to help him. Noah then agreed to take the quest, and Carl thanked him. Noah's dragon, on the other hand, asked him that can't he just heal her with his archaic magic. To which Noah told his dragon that illnesses are more in the realm of medicine, not magic. But then again he said that it doesn't mean that illnesses can't be cured by archaic magic. Noah then turns around and asks Carl if it will be possible to meet Carl's daughter for him. In response to that, Carl says sure. Following that, Carl told him that after he is done with today's work, he will take Noah to his home today. Then all of a sudden, a guy came in the room slamming the door and told Carl that his daughter is in bad condition. By hearing that from the guy, Noah, his dragon alongside Carl, was absolutely stunned to say the least, and they do know what to do or say at that point of time. Therefore, all of them rush towards Carl's house to see his daughter as quickly as possible. Following that, we see Carl slam the door and go into his house. Then, he quickly asks his wife what happened to his daughter Carla. To which, his wife told him that she suddenly collapsed and won't wake up. Then, the doctor told him that he still couldn't figure out what had happened to her, because her body seems absolutely normal. Noah then looked at Carl's daughter and asked the doctor if he could take a look at her. Hearing that, the doctor asked him what he was trying to do, and that can't he see that this was an emergency. Therefore, he asked him to stay out of this matter. But Noah, on the other hand, told him that this girl was suffering from mana meridian sclerosis. He then further goes on to explain that this is a disease that causes abnormality in the meridians through which mana possess, preventing it from getting normal. Following that, Noah further goes on to say mana consistently follows through all living beings, whether or not they are capable of using magic. Noah then again says this girl currently has only a negligible amount of mana following through her body. So, according to him, this disease is more in the field of magic than medicine. Therefore, no wonder none of the doctors caring for her could figure it out. After that, Noah says at this point he is using his mana to temporarily suppress her symptoms. But in order to cure her, they'll have to use an elixir after all. Following that, Noah says he will now have to hurry and find the fairy flower. Hearing that, Serena says it's already getting late, so it could be dangerous. So she decided to go with Noah too. Carl, on the other hand, says Noah doesn't have any magical tools required for this expedition. Noah then told Carl that it will take a while for them to manage any at this point of time. And right now it's a race against time, so he assumes that he will be just fine without the tools, and that he will find a fairy flower no matter what happens. Hearing that, Carl says thank you to Noah and Serena, and his wife asks them to take care of themselves. As they get out of the place, Noah told Serena that he will use teleportation power to go to the forest, so she will have to hold tight, and Serena says yes to that. As they reach the forest, Noah says he will be continuously searching for resources as they run through the forest, and that she won't mind if they pick up the pace. To which she says not at all. Momentarily, we get to know that fairy flowers, as the name implies, bloom in the places that fairies inhabit. Several hundred years ago, fairies used to dwell in this area. The dragon then says oddly enough, not a single one is around here anymore, and that maybe all of them moved to a new place. Noah then said that fairies tend to be pretty reclusive, so he can't imagine that they'd willingly leave a place like this forest. Dragon then said, considering that fact, fairy flowers had been found in this place before, he'd say that the fairies only disappeared recently. Perhaps someone took them away. All of a sudden, Serena says that maybe someone is there. Hearing that, a very charged up dragon said, yeah, that's some audacity. Suddenly, a monster appeared there, and our experienced adventurer Serena got rid of it pretty easily. Noah then praises her for the way she took care of the monster, and further adds that he didn't think that a monster would appear there like this. Hearing that, Serena says that he really is a rookie adventurer, and that there is a world of difference between his abilities and his experience in real combat. Then all of a sudden, Noah was getting a faint response from the fairy flowers. After a while, Noah pointed to a lake and said, here it is. Following that, he further elaborates that there is a fairy flower at the bottom of this lake. Hearing that, Serena was absolutely astonished. Then she asked how it got there. in response to that by saying as far as he knows fairy flowers aren't aquatic plants, and he further says he also can sense a strong mana could be there. Therefore, he will have to get in to understand that. But Serena, on the other hand, said that she is not the best swimmer. Noah then suddenly jumped into the lake with his dragon. Seeing Noah jump into the lake like that, Serena said he can do anything. After getting into the bottom of the lake, Noah says that this is a dimensional tear, which is a teleportation sport. But he was confused about who made it and why. Dragon then said he can sniff the fairy flower's mana. Noah then told the dragon that fairies can't use this kind of magic. So, according to Noah, someone must have taken them here. As he tried to touch it, he realized that it was protected by a barrier. So, the dragon then says that he will try to destroy it. But he failed to do so because he was underwater. NH then said that he will try to dispel it. And he started to do so. The barrier wasn't very well made, therefore Noah easily makes it disappear. The dragon then suddenly said he can sense a monster. Hearing that, Noah asked him if he could tell where it was. To which he told him that it was behind them. And Noah saw that it was a sea serpent. But seeing that, Noah was absolutely shocked, because it was supposed to be in the sea. Then the monster started saying that he was sleeping in peace. Then why is a human there in the middle of the night? Noah, with his translation power, understood what he was saying. The monster again said he will have to deal with him now, otherwise the sprite of darkness will beat him. Hearing that, Noah asked who is the sprite of darkness. To which the monster lets Noah know that he himself doesn't know who he is, and that all he knows is that he is a damn scary guy. One day he suddenly dragged the monster out of the sea. Noah then smiled and thanked him for giving him all this information. The sea monster was absolutely stunned that a human was speaking to him. Noah then told him that this was all because of his translation power. Noah further goes on to say that he would like to avoid any kind of unnecessary conflicts, and if he could pretend that he hasn't seen them, then it'll be great. In response to that, the monster laughed at him and said that he would rather eat them instead. Hearing that, Fafnir said the monster is even more hot-blooded than he is. Then he started to attack Noah and Fafnir. Realizing that, Fafnir asked Noah to go ahead, and that he will take care of this monster alone. Fafnir then goes on to say that if he wants to save the little girl's life, then he will have to go ahead. Noah then thanked Fafnir and went ahead, in search of the fairy flower. Noah then went into the barrier, and the dragon Fafnir was fighting with the monster. After a while, Noah went into an unknown place, and thought where he was, and he was stunned to see that it was daytime there. Then, he realized that place was made out of magic, so the time difference was irrelevant in the first place. Then Noah saw a girl who was shivering in pain. Noah put his healing spell in her, and she recovered. After that she thanked Noah. Noah then told him his name, and said that he is a rookie adventurer. Moments later, Noah asked the girl if she was a fairy, to which she said she was indeed going, and in return she asked Noah if he was a human or not. Noah then told her that he understood her language because of his translation power. The fairy then told Noah that in the past the fairies used to live in the Ruberup forest. But then one day an evil spirit of darkness came to the forest, and captured all of the fairies, and locked them up here. So now everyone except her was imprisoned in a big tree. Hearing that, Noah asked her, why did the sprite of darkness capture them? To which she answered that she doesn't know. She then asked Noah why he came to this place. To which Noah replied that he needs a fairy flower in order to heal a girl. Hearing that, the fairy said there should be some fairy flowers growing here. But then Noah saw all the other fairies imprisoned in a cell on top of a gigantic tree. As Noah tries to get a little closer to the captured fairies, the other fairy stops him and tells him that he will be attacked if he went a little closer to them. Then the fairy showed Noah the guardian golem and told him that the sprite of darkness isn't here at this time. So that golem is protecting the area on behalf of him. Noah then said that it seems to him that he will have to defeat this golem first, whether he has to save the fairies or pick the flowers. Noah then looked at the fairy and told her not to worry, and that he will save all of her friends, and then ask her to hide in a safe place for a while. She agreed and asked Noah to be careful. Noah thought the way to defeat this golem is to overwrite the archaic runes engraving into its chest. In order to do that, he is going to have to damage it and prevent it from moving for a short while. As he was thinking all this, the golem saw Noah and was coming to get him, and it was stepping on the fairy flowers. Seeing this, Noah felt really bad for the flowers. As he was thinking that, the golem came and threw Noah miles away. Seeing that, the fairy got really scared, and she started shouting for Noah's well-being. As Noah was falling on the ground, he was thinking that it is a good thing that his robe was protected. But if he takes another fall like this, he will be in trouble. Noah then rushes towards him and thinks he can't let the fairy flowers get crushed in the crossfire like this. So he then uses the ultimate raging blaze. But it doesn't have any effect on the golem. Therefore, in that case, Noah decided to use the mana shockwaves, but this also doesn't make any difference. And now it was the golem's turn to pay him back. As Noah saw it coming, he thought this was going to be bad for him. The golem then struck Noah with a thunderesque blow, and Noah went flying back, and he was hurt badly. Meanwhile, Noah understood that it was made out of mithril, and mithril is that is extremely resistant to magic. Then Noah thought if the archaic spell, which can typically pierce through some defensive spells, is not working. So, that means the golem is made out of mithril of considerably high purity. So, he understands that he can't beat him with such lowly magic. This as a whole was the worst possible matchup for him. Just then, the golem gets ready to move again, and Noah sees it coming. Despite that, the golem was quicker than usual, so Noah had no chance to move away. The punch from the golem landed flush on Noah's midriff, sending him flying back. The fairy gets worried seeing Noah fall down on the ground and get hurt. Noah, hurt, wondered just how he could beat a giant like the golem. He wonders if there's a way for someone like him to erase the ruin on the golem. But he quickly realizes that he can't because the ruin has a barrier blocking it. He realizes that if he doesn't defeat the golem, he won't be able to get out of this place. He wouldn't be able to save the fairies and get the flowers to Carl. Noah thinks about how if he had a better and more combat-suited skill set, he would have stood a great chance against opponents who resisted magic. However, he only has the skill of translation and can use archaic magic. That being said, he knows that there's no way out, so he decides to man up and fight the golem with the archaic magic that he has. He quickly forms a triple circle and uses a blazing fire move to attack the golem. He mixes up the setting of the circles to catch the golem off guard. He wants to breach through it no matter what. Noah knows that he needs to understand the ruins better. He needs to make a deep dive into the realm of ruins. A dive deeper than ever. He was hell-bent on getting things done. He wanted to get the flower for Carla, as he didn't want to lose her. However, as he was doing so, little by little, his head started feeling dizzy. This caused Noah to stop his magic spell. As he understood that his body was weakening, and his head was spinning, the golem had suddenly gotten stronger. Its body suddenly cracked up, and started resembling that of a strong bodybuilder. This shocked the fairy who was watching, and Noah, who was bleeding from his nose, realized that he was losing consciousness. Suddenly, Noah hears a sound. It was the sound of pages turning. He subsequently sees a large book in front of him. The ruins in the book were extremely complex to read. Noah tries to decipher it and understands that the book had information about the golem, how its body is formed of mithril, and how it uses a dark defensive barrier spell. This confuses Noah, as he doesn't understand why the book had information about the golem. Moreover, the book projected an insane amount of mana. It was as if the book itself was a paragon of archaic magic. This made Noah realize that if it is an archaic magic product, he could possibly use his skills to alter the effect of mithril. So, he uses his skills to make it so that mithril is no longer resistant to magic. After he is done rewriting the spell with his magic, the book closes and Noah gets to know that the book is called the Book of the World. Suddenly, Noah comes back to consciousness from the fairy's pestering. The fairy, beat up, says that it can no longer hold on. Noah realizes that the fairy had been protecting him while he was unconscious and thanks it for the help. The fairy says that is not an issue. The bigger problem is that the golem is still after them. Noah understands the situation he is in and decides to do something about it. However, he doesn't have a lot of magic left in him, and his best shot didn't even leave a scratch on the golem's body. This is when he is reminded of the book he saw. He wonders if the book he saw back then was a mere dream. He uses telepathy to tell the fairy all about his experience with the Book of the World. The fairy isn't so sure about something like that existing. Noah ponders if such a book could actually work its magic. However, he quickly brushes that sentiment off, as such a thing is too ridiculous to exist. The laws of the nature isn't something that can be changed so easily. That being said, Noah has no other chance but to back himself. He has to trust the Book of the World. So, Noah decides to use his magic to make another ultimate fire blaze attack. This time, he hopes that the attack at least manages to break through the defensive barrier. He hits the chest of the golem where the chest ruins were placed. Noah hoped wholeheartedly for the attack to leave some damage. And his prayers come into fruition almost immediately. The attack not only damages the golem, but destroyed its chest open. Soon after, the entire golem started dissolving into thousands of pieces. Noah stood there as the victor, while the fairy cheered him on for his unwavering braveness. That being said, Noah was more concerned about what the Book of the World stands for.